It can feel like the climate is changing faster than we can react, but there are people doing good work. There is a climate crew.
Insects represent 90% of all animals living on Earth. They're really important in the biodiversity, in the ecosystem diversity, interrelations, in the food chain. I'm Daniel Sigouin. I'm a park ecologist in Forillon National Park.
Forillon is one of 10 national parks on the east coast of Canada who are part of a 3-year study on insect biodiversity. Traps are set up in May and stay up until October. Specimen bottles are changed once a week and sent off to Guelph University for DNA testing. From there, the collected insects are sent to the Canadian Forest Service for visual identification and cataloging.
And one of the great things about these malaise traps is that they are so efficient at catching biodiversity. Like right now, just in the trap, I can see some robber flies, some butterflies, some weevils, there's many of them, some hemlock loppers. Like there's many species right there, and I really look forward getting back these samples to try to catalog them. So yeah, this is a really good trap for this environment. And all the fly insects will kind of go around, will hit the surface here, and will have a natural tendency to go up, and will be eventually collected in the jar.
What's interesting is that we put out the same traps 10 years ago, so we'll be able to compare the change in biodiversity. And it gives us a great sense of what we have presently. But also with climate change, we should be able to detect some change like native species coming from the south and moving north, but also some invasive species that may come in the area.
Aside from the main study with the malaise traps, the climate crew decides to do a bit of sweeping. Net sweeping allows them to capture insects and get a snapshot of species present in the different ecosystems throughout the park.
So we have found some flies around there that will be found only in this kind of area. They all have a different role in the ecosystem. But take one of these insects out, well, the ecosystem is going to be different.
Yes, and this is one of the good reasons we have to monitor and to increase our knowledge about insects. And one of the things regarding climate change is that our environment will be more resilient if we have a diverse habitat and diverse species that we have in the park.
So yeah, not all ecosystems will change in the same way regarding climate change. So we really need to monitor them to make sure that we know what direction they're going on and how we can preserve them better.
All this project is a partnership with the Canadian Forest Service. We have the habitat, we have the field where we can collect the data, but afterwards we need their expertise to be able to complete the work.
So yeah, I had a very interesting field trip last week in Forillon.
And have you found anything unusual?
We went in a salt marsh and I found this salt marsh spittlebug, which is very typical of these ecosystems.
Maybe, Christian, we can widen our research to sample the salt marsh.
Yeah, this kind of species might be interesting to monitor in the future. And this kind of habitat can be impacted by forest harvesting. These cascading effects may impact biodiversity because everything is being linked with biodiversity.
It requires many partners to understand what's happening with insect biodiversity in the parks. Guelph University takes all the insects collected and identifies them through DNA sequencing. That data is shared with both Parks Canada and the Canadian Forest Service for further analysis.
Good morning, everyone. We are getting to the end of the collecting season. So far, we have great data. We seem to have a lot of biodiversity.
That's great. We're just working through 2023 samples, so we'll be able to get you the sequence results from those soon. So we're looking forward to doing the same with the 2024 samples.
The University of Guelph has a unique facilities and unique teams to make this work. It's important to have collaborators because nobody has all the expertise needed to conduct such projects. All specimens that are pinned are also labeled and databased, and they are integrated into this collection. The beetles are in the first 2 units here because we have been working a lot over the last years. These are witnesses of the past, and these are very important in the perspective of climate change. Even insects that are conserving collections be useful to understand what's arriving with climate change. We have even seen that insect size change with respect to climate change. We're watching evolution in real time. The biodiversity of habitats and the biodiversity of organisms like the insects are absolutely necessary for the resilience of nature to climate change. Everyone can participate in protecting the insects. Biodiversity is as important in your yard as it is in national parks.